Let me just get my camera phone orientated. Yesterday I printed another one of these things, and I'd another one of these, and I had extended the legs out by 5mm, and after I'd printed it I thought, nah, I am going in the wrong direction, because what's happening is I don't have enough room between the legs to actually expand the coil out more. Excuse me, I've just had some burger and chips, and now I'm yeah. So I went back to SketchUp and I changed the model. I thought, this is what I want, and so I modelled up there with 3 legs instead of 6, because I'll tell you why. Because by doing it with 3 legs, I've got more space between these legs to wind my coil around, and I can expand my coil further instead of having the legs in the way, which is what was happening. And also it makes sense because this is a 3-axis system. Well, there's them 2 magnets there which are for this coil, them 2 magnets over there which are for a coil over there, and them 2 magnets over there for a coil over there. So in theory, in practicality, this thing could only handle up to 3 coils, and because of the constraints and everything. Obviously the main constraint being where the magnets are in the centre hub. So anyway, I modelled that yesterday. I didn't make a video on it because I was having a few issues moving them limbs around, or legs around. The main problem was my model was getting some distortions in it. I had some errors problems, and well, I'll show you what happened. If I load up, if I can load that model up, I'll probably cleared out my cache, so it won't be anything in the, yeah, there's nothing in the SketchUp model right now, but let me just navigate to it and I'll show you what I mean. I had all these issues, and my thumb is twitching again. Stop it, thumb. It's making the camera jerk. So, well, I'll just sort it by date modified. I can usually get there a lot quicker instead of trying to find out where I am. Alright, so the right, it's that one. If I bring that up, I had to use this program to fix the errors, but if you look, I've got the big triangle there. Let me just try zooming in without switching cameras. No, I'll hold the camera in a different way, then maybe it won't keep twitching, but I always like to fix the problems in SketchUp. Now if I press the plus sign on this program, you can see I've got a bunch of issues with double faces, and a triangular mesh, and I had this big red line down here, and obviously this program, this NetFab Studio Basic version 4.9, you can download it somewhere, probably on the internet, but this tool, that a friend Russ Grease actually sent me this copy because I had trouble finding it, but Russ of rwgresearch.org, anyway, he sent me this copy, but it's a really useful tool. Just click on the automatic repair down there, execute, fixes all the problems instantly, and apply the repair, remove the old part. There we go, it's all fixed. Now, as I said, I prefer to fix these problems in SketchUp beforehand, simply because if I send the SketchUp file to anybody to download, and the errors are still in the file, they're actually still in the model, and then it gives a headache for people because who I've sent the model to. Because if you try to print something that's got errors in it, 9 times out of 10 it won't print the whole model. You'll end up with a bit of a mess. So that's the main reason I try to fix. Obviously I can re-import the model, which is what I actually did. But the trouble then, if I back out, I'll show you the imported model, which I re-imported. It's down here somewhere. Oh, it's over here. What you end up with is a lot of extra lines in the model, which diagonal lines going, oops, camera's a bit, you end up with all these diagonal lines that go from at an angle. Now the problem with that is when you end up with diagonal lines in the model, you can't extrude it anymore. You can't, I can't edit this model, and if I go to the push-pull tool, if I edit this model now and go to the push-pull tool, it won't let me shrink it down. It will give me the red. I can only pull it out. You see, I can pull it out, but I can't shrink it beyond them. It won't go down any further than them diagonal lines if you look. So if you look, you'll see, if I can just zoom in a bit more, that when you extrude it, you have vertical lines in the model, so you can extrude it but you can't shrink it. So this is the reason why I need to get rid of the diagonal lines. And trouble with importing the model, let me press escape, just escape that change. Oops, lost my focus then. So if I go to the eraser tool and I go to erase one of these diagonal lines, I end up with a freaking hole, you see. And then I've still got to patch up the damn hole again. So this is why I prefer to, I'll just undo the erase. Oops, I'm drifting again. This is why I prefer, I'll show you again because you might not have seen it. If I erase this diagonal line, I've got a hole, right? Which is the problem. Undo. So this is why I didn't film what I was doing yesterday, because it was just a lot of frustration and a bit of cursing as well. Because I decided to move volumes. The only way around this problem, I think, is to just, what I normally do to fix this problem is to just copy the whole face. If I edit this like this, copy the face, which is actually probably this side. Actually, I want. Damn it! Move, will you? Right. Copy this face like this and start again. Basically, copy. Right. Get out of that. Close that out. And then paste a new. Oops. Paste a new. My mouse is jumping around. So I've got a new face there, which is perfectly flat. But I've got to extrude. I've got to put more lines in there and extrude it all over again, and I'll just sort the hole out. So this is one way of sorting it out. So what you can do is when you have this model problem, I'll measure I'll get my ruler, measure how high it was, because I have to make sure it's exactly the same, which is 20.6 millimeters. I really should have gone live on the computer to just show you all this, but the legs, for example, down here, I have to cut these off separately, like put a line between there and there, separate the legs from the actual middle part. And sorry about the movement on the camera, I'm trying to watch the screen and I can't watch the phone at the same time. Like this, to separate the legs and then extrude the middle. It's up, the face is backwards now. I'll have to sort that in a minute, and I'll come up 20.6. Right, so then I'm going to select all connected, no, I want all, select all connected reverse faces. Right, okay, but now my legs are backwards underneath now, so but you see I've got this big hole in the middle now. So you end up with, I've got to create a new face at the bottom now, but at least I've got my vertical lines back in the model, if you look, because I've extruded it again. I've got the vertical lines, so I can adjust the height and everything again. But so I'm just going to undo reversing the face. No, actually, well, I'll leave that. That's okay. But now I can extrude the legs, the limbs that stick out. And I forgot how high these are. 3mm, right. So I'm basically having to recreate my frigging model, because it's a lot quicker just to recreate the whole bloody model than it is to spend time trying to fix the other one. So pull that up 3mm. I'll have to type 3mm. Press enter. Right, now I can just pull them other limbs up to the same height as that one. So pull that one up to the same height as that one, and then I've got my limbs back. But that's a lot easier. Oops, sorry. That's a lot easier recreating the damn thing and redoing my hole in the middle than it is to try and fix the other ones. So, but the trouble is, it's no longer in a group and it's no longer in a component, which means when I change this, nothing else on the model set will change, and that's a pain in the backside. But but it's still quicker than trying to fix that other one, which because I moved the limbs around, and now I've got a flat spot. You can see that where the legs are, I got a flat spot right there on my edge. It's flat, but will it matter? No, not really. We see this is the problem before. When I moved the limbs and when I rotated them, I actually put them in between these magnets now. Instead of being opposite one magnet set, they're actually in between, if you look. So I had to move these limbs, rotated them around the axis. And it's because I rotated them that I ended up with distortions and all sorts of problems. And that's why I had to basically start again with this thing. And so I just need to get them faces back on there on this side, because it's hollow now. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill all of this like this. I'm just going to draw a line right through everything. So I've got a face back, erase that line like this. And when I just put there, I use it to create my face again. Sorry about the shaky cam. Come on. Now, some of these might not intersect properly. Oh, they do though. Oh, they don't all. They're not intersected. So when I click in that box, it's not merged or intersected. So I'm going to select all. Right click, intersect faces with model. Right, now these boxes should be separate now. Yeah, they are. So I've got my boxes where the magnets go all separated. So all I have to do is erase them boxes, and I should have the channel, which is what I do. Erase the hole in the middle, and I've got my channel back, but the hole's not the right shape, because if you look at the original one, it's got a step in it. The original one has a step in there where the bearing sits, and I've got to put that step back as well. So, but it still saves me a lot of time doing it, recreating the whole thing. So I just thought I'd show you that anyway. I mean, I'm sure people have wondered when they try to extrude things why they were extruding, what's stopping it. It's the diagonal lines that do that. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, show you what's going on. So I'm going to be printing a new versions with the 3 legs instead of the 6, because it just gives me a lot more room to make a bigger coil, and then we can get more voltage and more current, and that's the objective, isn't it? Is to get more voltage and current out. And I was just so constrained with the other design, and yeah, the other one over there is I I decided to put a hold on it because I want to get this new version out, because I want to start making bigger coils, and I thought, well, there's no point in winding a lot of copper new coils for the new design for that one over there if they're going to be too small, because I want to make bigger coils, and also I don't want to waste copper because it's too expensive. So I decided to go back to this and get this sorted out, which is what I'm in the process of doing right now. I'm pretty close now. I've got to I'll just get out of that a minute. That's not even in the group right now. I'm just gonna select all and make a group. Right, it's in a group now. That makes it a lot easier to move it around. I can move it around as one piece now, whereas if it wasn't in a group and I grabbed a piece of it, it would just distort and everything, and it would be a nightmare. Well, I'll show you what happens when you try to. Let me just edit group. Now, if I grab a piece of this and I try to move it without selecting the right parts, this is what happens. Oops, yeah. Just press escape. That's why it's important to have things in groups, so you can move the whole thing and not just part of it. Anyway, that's it for now. Sorry about the camera being jerky and wobbling all over the place. I just wanted to make a quick video update. That's really all I was doing. So you know what's going on. So we'll be back later as soon as I get some more stuff to print it out. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching.